This is Chargers Now. I am your host, Will Ortner, and today we're going to dive into the world of free agency because this guy right here that's on our screen right now, head coach Jim Harbaugh, he's looking to build a winner. Everywhere that Harbaugh goes, he is a winner. The teams win. In San Diego, they won. When he was at Stanford, they won. When he was at San Francisco, they won. When he went to Michigan, they won. LA Chargers, they're winning, but not at the level that he is 100% used to. So don't be shocked if he gets the Chargers rolling in the right direction and he makes some big name free agent signings. And we're looking at some new targets for the Chargers because we already did a video on my initial targets. We got some new names, so these are all completely different. We're on the road to 2K right now. We are just 207 subscribers away. So make sure that you come on in and hit that sub button. We are trying to grow the channel as big as possible. The bigger that the channel is, the more fun that we are going to be able to have. So make sure that you come on in and hit that sub button. The first free agent target that I want to talk about had a very long season this year because, well, Rashid Shaheed was playing well into the postseason with the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, just came away with a championship. Now, when I look at Rashid Shaheed, he would be the type of player that would be easy to add into this team and into this crew here in LA. Why? Because he is unbelievably fast, and he is really exploding onto the scene. When you look at the 2025 stats for Shaheed, obviously one of the best years of his career, just under 60 receptions, and his yardage just under 700. Here's the thing, he was well on pace to eclipse 700, almost honestly was on pace to have over 1,000 yards before the trade to Seattle. And I think that some of his chemistry with Sam Darnold was unfortunately not there, and it just took them a little bit to get going. The nice thing about Shaheed as well is not only is he a great wide receiver, and you can see that he continues to get better and better as each season goes along, he also could instantly add in some explosiveness to the kick return game and to the punt return game of this Chargers team. In fact, I think he is the best special teamer when it comes to return men in the National Football League. You're going to give Justin Herbert another weapon. He is going to be someone that's going to be expensive, but not too expensive, so the Chargers would not necessarily be breaking the bank on him. And you're giving this team that true blue breakaway deep threat that at any moment he can get gone. He's still a very good route runner, and I do think that you would see Mike McDaniel really have some fun gadget plays for him as well. Imagine what McDaniel can do after all the fun things that he did with Deebo Samuel. Imagine what he could do with a player of the likes of Rashid Shaheed. No one is faster. He would instantly become a star in LA. Next player that I want to talk about is Boye Mafe. He is an outside linebacker, edge rusher type for the Seattle Seahawks. He's obviously hitting free agency, and he would make a very big impact, I believe, in LA. Now, obviously, Thule, he's going to stay and going to be solid for this Chargers crew, but don't be shocked if Khalil Mack or Odafe Oweh are unable to return to the Chargers just simply because they don't put enough money towards them for whatever reason, right? I still believe that the Chargers need to find a way to bring those two back. If they don't, right, they could go after Boye Mafe. He's going to be someone that's a little bit on the cheaper side. When you look at his last year, obviously the numbers are not going to jump off the page to you, but it is important to note that his last couple of seasons were actually very successful. He had a couple of years there where Uchenna Nwosu was not the starter, so Boye Mafe was the starter, and he was getting pretty darn close to double-digit sack numbers. His previous season with the Seahawks, obviously a little bit down, but he's still winning at a very high rate. He is someone that the Chargers could get for a very cheap monetary value, and I do think that he could come in and step in and instantly be a very good performer for this team. When you look at O'Leary and the type of defense that he wants to build, it's going to be a similar version to what Jesse Minter did. And when you see the success that Odafe Oweh had in that system, I think that Boye Mafe could easily jump into that role as well. He's also shown that he can have success in the McDonald's system if you just look back at his previous year. If you love the LA Chargers, then make sure that you come in and like this video. We're having a ton of fun here on the channel. If we can get this to be the most liked video on the week's videos that we have dropped, well then shoot, that just means we're going to have to make more videos. Our next free agent target that we're going to have to look at, I think, is a very good backup option for an improvement at center for the Chargers, and that, of course, is Connor McGovern. Now, McGovern has had a successful career in Buffalo, and my still initial lean is Tyler Linderbaum. Here's the problem. Everyone and their mother who has a center issue or wants to improve at center is going to go after Tyler Linderbaum. And Linderbaum is now going to end up making the most amount of money that a center makes. Right now, Creed Humphrey, that's his title. I'm telling you right now, Linderbaum's going to come in and take over that. A guy like a Connor McGovern, he is not going to end up commanding top dollar, but he's still going to end up commanding a very high price tag. I believe that if the Chargers do not get into the Linderbaum sweepstakes, they could easily go grab Connor McGovern. He would add to this team, and instantly you'd see a lot of success that would still be felt from what would have happened if the Chargers end up grabbing Linderbaum. I would also say that McGovern is a clear and easy upgrade over Bradley Bozeman. That just seems pretty obvious. Next free agent target that we're going to talk about is Super Bowl champion Riq Woolen, and I find this very fascinating when I'm talking about a potential corner that could come in and help out the Chargers. Obviously, the Chargers need to have a little bit more depth at that cornerback position, and I think that Woolen can add to them. Woolen has actually had a very successful career. I think that there are a lot of misnomers when it comes to Riq Woolen because when he does mess up, his mess-ups do seem to be on the larger scale. And there are a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans that at times can be frustrated with Woolen because of the mistakes that he's had. Now, to sit here and say that he's not a good corner would be laughable. Riq Woolen is a starting caliber corner, and there's a lot of people in Seattle that do not want to see him leave. In fact, I was actually at the Super Bowl, and I was able to interview Riq Woolen, and so I asked him, will he end up staying in Seattle or will he end up going? And here's the direct quote that I actually got from him.
Good question, man. That's one thing that, that it's always in the back of my mind, but also, I've been on my feet at. I've been blessed to be with this team. I've been able to, contribute and have fun and enjoy this journey with them. And there's no better way to, be at the end of this journey or continue this journey after this game or during this game. So I'm just happy to be here, and it's a blessing.
And what you're going to notice there is Woolen did say, hey, he wants to be in Seattle, but he didn't outright say, no, I'm a Seahawk for life or I'm not going anywhere. When you also look at some of the things that have been posted or said from Riq Woolen throughout the year and throughout this offseason, now that it's just getting started for Seattle, Woolen has been pretty clear that he seems to go or wants to go where probably the highest bidder is going to be. Well, if the Chargers want to make a major play, they have the cap space. They can go in and pay Woolen a pretty penny and bring him to LA. I don't think that that's a bad option, especially with what Woolen could bring to the table when it comes to the skill set that he has. The last free agent that we are going to take a look at here is a little bit more of an interesting target. It's a little bit more of a reach, but it is David Njoku, the tight end from the Cleveland Browns. He's already made it pretty clear that he does not want to be in Cleveland anymore. And so if he is going to move on from Cleveland, I do think that he is someone that could come in and make a lot of big-time plays for this Chargers team. You are just going to continue to add another weapon to everything that Justin Herbert wants to do. Obviously, the numbers are not going to jump off the page, but you do have to remember it's not like Njoku has had the best quarterbacks. I was trying to think of something nice there, but let's just call a spade a spade. It's not like the quarterback situation that Njoku has been dealing with at his different stops has been great. He would now get a great quarterback in LA, and I do believe that Justin Herbert could help take him to that next level into being a star tight end in the National Football League. We've also seen what Mike McDaniel can do with tight ends in his system. They always seem to have career years. Don't be shocked if David Njoku comes in and flourishes in this offense, not just because the quarterback's good, because the offensive coordinator is that elite. I want you to sound off in the comment section. If you agree with my list, let me know if one of these players is someone that you want the Chargers to sign in free agency. If not, and there's a different name, let me know down below in the comment section. I'm very interested. I want to hear what you have to say. So let me know what player you think the Chargers should make sure that they go in and sign. And of course, if you haven't already, you made it to the end of the video. What are you doing? Hit that sub button. We're trying to get to 2K. Remember, the bigger that the channel is, the more videos that we are going to be able to do for you. So make sure that you hit that sub button because you love the LA Chargers. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video, and bolt up.